Outrage sparked by the global economic crisis is inflamed all over the world. In countries like Tunisia, Egypt, Greece, Spain, Portugal, and other political states around the planet, people have been calling for drastic change in the relationships between their governments and the economic powers brought about with the rise of global capitalism. Recently, some Americans have joined their disgruntled brethren in protest. It's kind of hard to tell if they're fighting the same battle. Here to share his thoughts on the Occupy movement, visual satirist John Cox.
When I'm drawing these, generally I'm poking fun at what I consider an impotent movement against capitalism.
What is your most powerful tool in designing these cartoons?
Color has a big influence in this one because I'm telling you exactly what to look at and when to look at it. So there's a sequence where you see the character first, you see that sign second, and then you see the crowd behind them third. And red is a good way to snap that focal point. It could have been blue, could have been yellow, but red works the best.
Once you've grabbed your audience's attention, how do you keep them interested?
That's where the contrast comes in, is I'll pick something as straightforward as color contrast or dark and light contrast. Another contrast in this piece is the main character there, the donkey character, is rather calm. He's just standing there holding the sign. It's what's going on behind him. It seems like some sort of mob scene. That's a nice contrast. Another contrast would be the character is an ink drawing up against a photograph. The cartoons I like best are when they're loaded with contrast.
How do you know you've finished a piece?
I get done with a cartoon and that little audience of one, says, that's a pretty good cartoon. I think that's worth looking at. That's when it goes up.
Do you just create to pleasure yourself, or is your work intended for others?
It is an audience of one, but I like the idea that one represents everybody at the same time. People who use my work professionally, people who like editorials in general, people who may disagree or agree with me. And then I have that kind of interior audience where I'm actually thinking of other artists I admire. So when I think of those four groups, I know I'm engaged with the cartoon. I know I'm doing it for four distinct reasons, that when it's a good cartoon, it actually satisfies all four of those. That's a good cartoon for me.
What in your work establishes your authority, or what Aristotle calls ethos?
It's the idea of being accurate. And my sense of accuracy is, what was the idea behind this and did I get it? The vast majority of occupiers don't really know why they're there. I think that's hilarious. That is to say that the accuracy of my idea is that the occupiers is an impotent force. My cartoon is about that. And when I'm satisfied, you know what? The guy with the sign that says all he's saying is that I'm so angry I made a sign. That pretty much sums up the idea of them being impotent.
How did you use Aristotle's rhetorical appeal pathos? Or in other words, were you looking to arouse a particular emotion through this cartoon?
If someone saw the cartoon and they were indignant and they said, I can't believe these occupiers, can't they see that they're ridiculous like this cartoon is showing? Don't they see what I'm seeing? That kind of recognition that the occupiers represent 99%. And a viewer looks at this cartoon and goes, it doesn't represent me at all. It's not even close to what I believe. So if someone had an indignant response to it, whether I was right or wrong, who does this cartoonist think he is? Don't they know that the issues are much larger than some just goofy donkey with a stupid sign?
Many of you may very well believe that the issues surrounding the Occupy movement are much larger than a goofy donkey with a stupid sign. Behind the movement is a promise to improve the world, a promise to make a change, a promise to arouse upright men to take action. Who is John Cox but a fancy monkey with a magic pen? Don't forget what other fancy monkeys have accomplished with their pens. Benjamin Franklin recruited colonists to fight the French using political cartoons, and cartoonist Thomas Nash almost single-handedly ended the reign of New York greedmonger Boss Tweed.
Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!